to go.
Start now.
And it's still 4:59 according to my clock on my computer. We're just waiting for 5 o'clock and then we'll start. Oh, there's now also a warrant. So let me quickly check that out. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do this one real quick.
Commissioner Hunt's initial input. I'm reviewing the search warrant request regarding Andrew's pricing group. And, yeah, if you find the search probable cause of the search warrant, that's a request on it. If you do. So, I just need to throw you in. So, do you swear or affirm that the information contained in the search warrant affidavit is true and accurate? And I'm granting that right now. I do have this point. Right.
All right. Okay, and now we can definitely start. All right. So, okay. This is the 5 a.m. initial appearance calendar for May 31st, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of the DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. You've listened to the tape. That's basically what's going to happen. Now, just to let you know that on your release conditions, there's going to be written release conditions from almost all of you. You need to follow all of the release conditions, all of the written release conditions, so be sure to read them all. Now, I am going to just note some of them, but you need to follow all of them, okay? Now, we're going to start with Damon Stevenson. Please come to the podium. Josiah Hickman, please go to the chair.
Damon Stevenson.
Yes, please, just come to the podium. Thank you. And could you please state your full name?
Damon Anthony Stevenson.
And your date of birth?
1895.
Yes, and now you have a warrant for violating your probation.
Yes.
I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. As I stated, it's for violating your probation. Now, the warrant requested for me to hold you without bond, and so that is what I'm going to be doing. Okay? So if you just go to your left to get your paperwork.
Oh.
Josiah Hickman, please come to the podium. Jennifer Carrera, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Hi. Good morning.
Could you please state your name?
Josiah Hickman,
And your date of-
1780.
Yes, and now you have a warrant out of Mojave County Superior Court. And it was a failure to appear, and it was for fraud, although it's just a first-degree felony and / misdemeanor, but I looked it up, the warrant, and it was about fraud. And if you remain in custody, when you go to court, I can't appoint counsel for another jurisdiction, but you can be appointed counsel when you're there. Your arraignment at that court would be on June 4th at 8:30 a.m. at Mojave County Superior Court. Now, they wanted me to hold you without bond, but it's a pre-adjudication warrant, and my belief is that that would be unconstitutional. So I cannot hold you without bond, so therefore I'm making it a $100,000 cash-only bond.
All right.
Okay? If you do make the bond, then, of course, make sure that you show up for court.
All right.
Okay? So if you just go to your laptop, get your paperwork. If not, they will come and pick you up. That is what the bond states. They're going to come and pick you up.
You're on the 5th?
I'm sorry, what?
You're on the 5th?
Okay, then you have, they may not pick you up, and then you'll have court. If they haven't picked you up yet, then you'll have your court here. Okay? And if not, make sure then you let, then at least write them saying, hey, look, I've been taken to Mojave County, so that they'll know. And then keep your documentations so that you can show this court that you were taken to Kingman. Okay? Make sure you keep your documentation so that you can show, hey, look, I didn't just not show up.
Okay.
All right? Jennifer Carreras, please come to the podium. Jose Gallo, please go to the chair. Hello, Jennifer. Could you please state your full name?
Jennifer Lynn Carreras,
And your date of birth?
9/18/81.
All right, now you are being charged with 1 count of fraudulent schemes and artifices as a Class 2 felony, 5 counts of forgery as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of misconduct involving weapons as a misdemeanor. I did find that there was probable cause for these charges, and I am appointing the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office. And you have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. I am going to follow the state's recommendations of having a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. Also, for you to have no contact with your co-defendant, just Jose Gallo. Okay? If you just go to your left to get your paperwork. Now, did I make him legal defender? Oh, I thought I put down, I need to edit this next one. I thought that I changed it, but I didn't. And you know what? I changed it, and yet I then just didn't save it. Oh no, that was a different case. We're going to leave this as is. No changes to the paperwork. Do I just cancel them? And then it'll stay the same? Okay. Jose Gallo, please come to the podium. Ishmael Taylor, please go to the chair. Okay, sir, could you please state your full name?
Jose Aguayo.
Thank you. And let me just confirm what I have here. Yeah. All right. Sir, could you please state your date of birth?
September 4th, 2004.
All right, now you are being charged with 1 count of prohibiting manufacturing, possessing, or selling a prohibited weapon as a Class 3 felony, forgery is a Class 4 felony, and fraudulent schemes and artifices as a Class 4 felony. I did find that there was probable cause for these charges. I do not find that you're indigent, so I'm not appointing counsel at this time. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. And you have the cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $50,000, and also that you're not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Jennifer Carreras.
I'm sorry, the cash bond you said was 15?
No, 50,000, 50. Okay? Just go to your left to get your paperwork. Ishmael Taylor, please come to the podium. Jacqueline Mole, please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your full name?
Ishmael Taylor.
I'm sorry, could you please state...
Ishmael Taylor.
And your middle name?
Ishmael Taylor.
And your middle name is Aaron?
Aaron, yes.
Okay, and your date of birth?
6978.
All right. And you are being charged with 2 counts of theft of means of transportation as a Class 4 felony, 2 counts of forgery, Class 5 felony. I did find that there was probable cause for these charges, and I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. And I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. You are not to initiate contact with any alleged victims or complainants. Okay?
How much? I couldn't hear.
A secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000, 50. Okay, but you can use a bonding company. You don't have to have like the last...
The whole 50, how much?
Right, like you can use a bonding company, so you don't have to have every dollar for the $50,000. Like the people before you did have to have the entire amount. You do not have to have the entire amount.
So how much
you
would I
can use
need?
a bonding company. Most bonding companies, you need like 10% to pay, like as their fee, and then have collateral. Okay? So if you just go to your left to get paperwork. Jacqueline Mole, please go to the podium. Victor Castillo, please go to the chair. Thank you. Now, Jacqueline, you have 3 cases before me. Number 2, 3, and 4. Could you please state your full name?
Jacqueline Mong.
Okay, and first I need you to speak a little louder.
Jacqueline Mong.
And your middle name is Jade?
Yeah.
And your date of birth?
12/21/99.
All right, and that is the same name and date of birth I have on all 3 of them. So on the first case, it is a warrant out of Yavapai County Superior Court. Excuse me. The underlying charges is 1 count of possessing or using a drug paraphernalia and 1 count of DUI regarding drugs as a misdemeanor. I cannot appoint counsel out of a different court, so if you remain in custody, they can appoint counsel at that next hearing. You have an arraignment set at Yavapai County Superior Court on June 4th at 8:30 a.m., and I am affirming their bond in the amount of $25,000. On your next case, it is a warrant out of Fountain Hills, out of the town of Fountain Hills, and it is for 1 count of assault as a Class 1 misdemeanor, and that is from February the 12th of 2019. If you remain in custody, you will be appointed counsel at your next hearing. You have an arraignment on that date, also on June 4th at 9 a.m. So obviously, if you're taken from one, it's like you need to make sure that you keep your documentation so that if you can let the other court know that, hey, look, you were in custody. Like you have a secured appearance bond in that case for an amount of $500. On the next case, it is a new case out of our court, which is and you are being charged with 1 count of dangerous drugs violation as a Class 4 felony, 3 counts of drug paraphernalia, and 1 count of false reporting to a law enforcement officer. Now, I did not find probable cause regarding the dangerous drugs because they did not test it. And 3 counts of the drug paraphernalia, again, if they didn't test the dangerous drugs, then I don't know if that would have, what it was, if that's paraphernalia, for dangerous drugs. So I did not find probable cause for those. However, I did find that there was probable cause for the false information to a law enforcement officer. So I can make release conditions. If I had found no probable cause for all of the charges, then I would have just had to release you. But since I did find that there was probable cause regarding the false information to a law enforcement officer, I am going to set bond in the amount of $500. I am also going to appoint counsel for you in this case. You have a status conference set in this case in Superior Court at the South Court Tower on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. Because even though I did not find probable cause, that doesn't mean anything, because they can actually still have tested those, tested the drugs, and because all I have is like the little paragraph, and it just states that they are going to test it, and so I'm only able to find probable cause based off of that Form 4. But when they're dealing with the charges, that doesn't dismiss the charges. So you still have court. Do you understand that? And so you still have to fight the charges. Do you understand that? So I am appointing counsel, as I stated, and so you still need to show up for court, and your attorney can help you regarding these charges. So you have a status conference set, like I said, on June 5th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th. So you do need to make sure that you show up for that, and it's a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So you have $500 on this new charges and the felony charges for our court as $500 for the town of Fountain Hills, and then you also have the $25,000. Hold on, that's wrong. I'm wrong person. And then you have the $25,000 bond for Yavapai County Superior Court. Okay? All right, if you just go to your left, you'll get that paperwork. Victor Castillo, please come to the podium. Michael Yazzie, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Hello.
You have 3 cases before me this morning. Now, let's just go with the new case first. Oh, and actually, let's just go with the fact that they all have the same name and date of birth. So why don't you give me your name first?
Victor Castillo.
Okay, and your middle name is Junior?
Junior, yes, ma'am.
And your date of birth?
10/19/1984.
Yes, and that is the same name and date of birth I have for all 3 of the cases. And that's number 28, 29, and 35 on the docket. Now, let's go with number 28. That's on the docket first. It is, you are being charged with 1 count of unlawful imprisonment as a Class 6 felony and 1 count of resisting arrest, risking physical injury as a Class 6 felony. I did find that there was probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. That is in downtown Phoenix at the South Court Tower. You have a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $25,000. On your next case, it is a warrant out of Arcadia Biltmore Justice.
Arcadia?
Yes, Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court.
Huh?
It is 1 count.
Where's that?
The paperwork will have the actual address on it.
I've never been there.
Well, you've had a warrant, got a warrant out of it.
I've never been to Arcadia.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that's at.
Okay, well,
Wow.
it's for 1 count of DUI, and that stemmed from a December 18th, 2021 offense date.
Yeah. Oh.
I actually, when I viewed these, it showed that you were not indigent. However, it does actually show that you have, so on the Justice Court case, I'm not appointing counsel. But because you just had a legal defender on your probation case, I'm going to appoint counsel on your new case and on your probation case, okay? So you have an arraignment. So right now I'm looking at your Justice Court case, the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court. You have an arraignment set on June 3rd at 8:30 a.m. at the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court.
I don't even know where
And you have a
that's at.
secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $493.
So I'm stuck here.
Well, okay, let me go through them again.
Okay.
And on the next case is the warrant for violating your probation because they're saying that you committed a new crime.
Yeah, well, I know. I got you, ma'am.
So on this one, I'm appointing counsel to represent you.
Okay.
Because you had the legal defender's office. When I first looked at your financial statement, I felt that you were not indigent and that I wasn't going to appoint counsel for you on anything. But
Thank you.
because you just had the legal defender's office, it didn't seem that that was right. So that's why I was appointing counsel.
Thank you.
So that's why what? PDF. I know that I just... Yeah, I had put that down then. I wrote it down and yet, oh, I did actually put it in there. Okay. Save. All right. Signature. Okay, so on the first one, you have a bond in the amount of $25,000. Okay?
And
That's for the new charges.
yeah.
And now on the probation case, like I said, I'm going to appoint you also attorney.
Okay.
And you have a bond in the amount of $500.
Okay.
Okay, and then on the Justice Court case, it's a bond of $493.
Okay.
So basically, it's approximately $26,000 total for the bond. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So then if you just go to your left, you'll get that paperwork. Michael Yazdi, please come to the podium. Okay, this is red. I need to take a look at it. If I have to, only 20 minutes. You know what, let me just... Okay, Mr. Yazzie. Oh, and then Alfredo Morales, please go to the chair. Oh. We may need to take a moment. Okay, sir, could you please, actually, you have two cases before me. Could you please state your name?
Michael Yazzie,
And your date of birth?
9800.
Okay, and then that is the same name and date of birth I have on both cases before me. And so let's go to the first one. You are being charged with one count of aggravated assault against a first responder as a class 4 felony, one count of resisting arrest, risking physical injury as a class 6 felony, one count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of criminal damage as a class 2 misdemeanor. I did find that there is probable cause for these charges. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. in downtown Superior Court. Downtown Phoenix, and at the South Tower. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $10,000. In your second case, it is a warrant for violating your probation, and I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm just setting a security appearance bond in the amount of $500. Okay? So you just go to your left, you'll get your paperwork. If you do get out, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Alfredo Morales, please come to the podium. Amber Bethel, please go to the chair. Okay. And sir, can you please state your name
Alfredo Morales,
and your date of birth?
9/16/73.
Okay, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. at downtown Phoenix at 201 West Jefferson, and you have a security appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. Do not initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. Do not have any physical contact with any alleged victim in your case, and in the underlying case. Okay? Just go to your left and get your paperwork. Amber Bethel, please go to the podium. And Heather Haskey, please go to the chair. Hello, can you please state your full name?
Amber Bethel?
And your middle name is Patricia?
Yes, ma'am.
And your date of birth?
2/13/89.
All right, you have a warrant for failing to show up for your status conference, I believe, yes. And your underlying charges are 1 count of possessing and using a narcotic drug as a class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a class 6 felony. I am appointing or reappointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. And that is at the South Court Tower. And I'm affirming the prior warrant, which is a $2,500 security appearance bond.
How much?
$2,500.
So can I use a bond company?
Yes, you can use the bonding company.
2,500?
Yes, it's a $2,500 bond.
Okay.
Okay? If you just go to your left, look at that paperwork.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Heather Haskey, please come to the podium. Noel Reese, please go to the chair. Hello. Can you please state your name?
Heather Haskey?
And your middle name is Marie?
Yes.
And your date of birth?
12/8/90.
All right. And you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm just affirming the bond that's in the amount of $250. Okay? So if you just go to your left, you'll get to that paperwork.
Okay.
You have a bond in the amount of $250. You just looked a little like you didn't understand. You're going to have a bond in the amount of, in order to be released, you need to make the bond that's in the amount of $250. You're welcome. Noel Reese, please come to the podium. Felipe Martinez, please go to the chair. Hello, can you please state your name?
No, Jose Castro Ruiz.
Actually, I kind of need to, can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, Noel Castro.
Okay. I think that just other people are talking at the same time. But actually, I also think I have four names for you. So, can you please state your full name?
No, Jose Castro Ruiz.
Yes. And that is the name I have on both cases I have before you. And your date of birth?
January 8, 1996.
And that is the same date of birth I have for both cases I have for you. So, and they are both, well, actually, no. One is for the first one I have, which is number 6 on the docket, is a warrant for violating your probation. I'm going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings with possible disposition set on January the 6th at 8:30 a.m. and it's a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. On your other case, it is a arrest warrant out of this court, and it is for 1 count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony and 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony. The offense date was December the 11th of 2024. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 5th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. and setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 on that one.
Okay.
Okay? So, yes, it is $500 on both cases. All right, if you just go to your left, you'll get that paperwork. Felipe Martinez, please come to the podium. Jamie Benelli, please go to the chair. Hello, can you please state your name?
Felicia Martinez.
And you,
It's June 16th, 1989.
all right, and then I guess your middle name is also Rose Nicole?
Yeah.
All right, and so yes, and I have your date of birth, and you have a warrant for violating your probation. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m., and I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. Okay, go to your left, yeah, you can get your paperwork. Jamie Benally, please go to the podium. Jadalyn Arberka, please go to the chair. Hello, can you please state your full name?
Jamie Benali.
And your middle name, Reno?
Yes.
And your date of birth?
12/26/86.
That was 96?
Yes.
Okay, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m., and I'm setting secured appearance bond in the amount of $100.
Okay.
Okay, so if you just go to your left, you'll get your paperwork. Jadalyn Arbica, please come to the podium. Annabelle Skelnick, please go to the chair. Okay, and you have 2 cases before me this morning. Could you please state your full name?
Jadalyn Abarca,
Date of birth?
5/17/01.
All right, and that is the same name and date of birth I have in both cases. They are both for warrants for violating your probation. I am appointing on the number 10 on the docket, I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. and a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. On the number 11 on the docket, same thing, I'm appointing counsel. And I also, probation revocation hearings set on the same date and time, June 6th at 8:30, and I'm also doing the same bond in the amount of $250. If you just go to your left, you'll get that paperwork. Annabelle Skelnick, please come to the podium. Okay, now, can you please state your full name?
Annabelle Skelnick, 9/16/1981.
All right, and you have 2 cases before me today. They are both for warrants for violating your probation. They have the same name and date of birth. Oh, I'm sorry, I think you said your date of birth, but let's just make sure. Could you please state it again?
Annabelle Skelnick, 9/16/1981.
Yes, and that is what I have for both cases, and they are both for warrants for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you in both cases. You have probation revocation arraignment hearings. It was dispositions set on June 6th at 8:30 a.m. In one of them, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. In the other one, it is a bond amount of $500. Okay, so you just go to your left, you'll get your paperwork. Obadiah Reynolds, please come to the podium. Johnny Ortiz, please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your name?
Obadiah Reynolds.
All right, and then I believe your middle initial then would be J? Is your middle initial J?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Your date of birth?
July 25th, 1989.
All right, you have a warrant out of University Lakes Justice Court. It is for 1 count of disorderly conduct fighting as a misdemeanor and 1 count of assault as a misdemeanor. I cannot appoint counsel out of a different jurisdiction, and I wasn't sure what your financial situation was. You have an arraignment set on June 4th at 8:30 a.m. at the University Lakes Justice Court. You have a secured appearance bond in that case in the amount of $100.
So that's, is that the one that's here or actually in Chandler?
It's actually in Chandler, yes.
Okay, because that the ASU one is here, right? That the ASU police one that's here, around the corner in here, but it's basically, are you familiar?
I do not know what you're talking about
so
the
like-
ASU one.
Yeah, so it's the ASU police specifically, but on the thing it says, on the address, it says,
The
the
paper,
address in, my bad, let me finish. It says, the address in Chicago, well, not Chicago, it says Chicago, but it's
yes,
in Chandler.
the address will say Chicago. I know that
Yeah,
there's
but I know there's an actual Chandler one, that's actually in Chandler.
it's going to be in
Okay.
Chandler.
But the one in ASU is over here, which is ironic.
Okay.
I've been to both, so that's
Well,
why.
this is University Lakes Justice Court, and I've been there several times. It's in Chandler.
I'm so sure I have cases in both, so I'm trying to like
Okay.
combine those.
Well, this one is this is in Chandler.
So I'm trying to say, is there any way you can put a note? I'm just
No.
saying. Okay.
It has the address right there.
No, I understand that, so I'm talking to the judge. Are you familiar with that?
Well, I was just
Speak to
explaining.
the judge, I can speak to the judge by myself. I don't
Okay,
need-
well,
are
I
you a lawyer?
can't, excuse me,
You don't know
sir.
how this works.
Sir,
You
okay.
used to like,
You
nobody's-
have a case in University
I'm a
Lakes
lawyer too,
Justice Court.
basically.
You need to go there, okay?
Yeah, regardless.
Your
I'm gonna be
paperwork
myself.
has the address on it.
I'm gonna be transported, one way or another.
If you don't make bond, then you may even be just appearing by virtually, okay?
Say less. Either way, I'm here. I was trying to figure it out, because I got like 4 different misdemeanor cases, and this shit is irritating.
Okay, well, you need
Sorry,
to
I'm
make
doing
sure
this
that
shit
you
all
show
the
up to
time.
where you need to go,
I'm gonna be here, so
okay?
just trying to make sure I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but, I mean, not to you, obviously, Your Honor. Them, I don't give a fuck, because honestly, it ain't shit.
All right, well, again, you are in court, you shouldn't be
Appreciate
cussing.
you. Sorry about that.
All right, well, I've got a lot more people to see, so if you can just, there's nothing else for me to say.
Thank you, Your
That's,
Honor.
you have got your court date.
Have a beautiful day.
Johnny Ortiz, please come to the podium. Monica Garcia Hernandez, please go to the chair.
Johnny Ortiz?
Yes.
Johnny Ortiz,
And your middle name is Carlos?
Carlos, yes.
Your date of birth?
June 11, 1979.
Thank you. You have a warrant out of Paso Municipal Court.
Yes.
And you are being charged with 1 count of false reporting to a law enforcement officer as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I do not have enough information to determine indigence at this time. I am going to you have an arraignment set on June 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you remain in custody, then the judge will, if you want,
Just say,
well, if you can't make bond, the bond is $500. So if you can't make bond, then you'll be transported to court. And then if you want an attorney, they'll fill out paperwork to see if you want counsel. And then they can determine whether or not you're eligible. All right? I was a public defender in Tolleson for a decade, so I know how he works, how he does it there.
Okay.
Okay?
So it's $500 bond?
It's a $500 bond. But if you can make it, then just show up for court. Okay? Monica Garcia Hernandez, please come to the podium. Zachary Yazzie, please go to the chair. Hello, can you please state your full name?
Mónica Garcia Hernandez.
Thank you, and you have two cases before me today. Number 23 and number 24 on the docket. On the first one, it is a warrant out of Buckeye Municipal Court, and the underlying case is 1 count of criminal damage as a Class 1 misdemeanor. If you remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at your next hearing. You have an arraignment set on June 4th at 1 p.m. in Buckeye Municipal Court. You have a secured appearance bond in that case in the amount of $500. On the next case, it is a warrant out of Superior Court for failing to show up for a status conference. The underlying charge in that case is a possessing or using a narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony. I am reappointing the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office. You have a status conference set in that case in downtown Phoenix in the South Tower at June 5th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm just affirming the bond in the amount of $500 in that case.
So how much?
So you have $500 in that one and $500 that one as well, so $1,000 total.
Is it secure?
Secured.
So I could,
you can use a bonding company for both.
so it's because I have money on my books at 500. Is there any way I could bounce?
It's $500 on each. $500 for each case.
So it'll be,
it's $1,000 total.
$1,000?
Yes.
No, but it's secured, right? I could go to
secured. You can use a bonding company.
A bonding company. But is there any way I could bail myself out?
If you had $1,000, yes.
Oh, but I can't go through a bondsman, like, to bail myself out.
You can call and use a bonding company, yes.
Oh, okay.
But that's where you need to talk to a bonding company, but it's going to be for 2 cases for $500 each. So it's a total of $1,000.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yeah, and you need to make sure that you go to both courts,
Okay.
to Buckeye Municipal Court and to Superior Court.
Okay. Oh, that's it?
Yes. Zachary Yazzie, please come to the podium. Sergio Rivera, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Can you please state your full name?
Zachary Shane Yazzie,
Thank you, and your date of birth?
4592.
Thank you. You have a arrest warrant. The charges are 1 count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of DUI as a misdemeanor, and 1 count of DUI drugs as a misdemeanor. The offense dates for these are September 12th of 2022. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on June 16th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on June 18th at 8:30 a.m. It was an arrest warrant. They had just set a bond amount of $10, so I'm going to be releasing you on your own recognizance, on your promise to appear.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think, there's like the fact that you just hadn't received notice.
Okay.
So just show up for court. Okay?
And then the paper, it's in the paperwork.
You're going to get paperwork right here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
They'll have your dates. Make sure where you have the address of where you need to go show up.
You got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sergio Rivera, please come to the podium. And Eric Quintero Bajorquez, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hi.
Can you please state your full name
Sergio Esteban Rivera,
and your date of birth?
February 1st, 2005.
And you have a new case out of El Centro Justice Court, 2 counts of misconduct involving weapons as a misdemeanor. I was reviewing that statute. I did see that there was probable cause. In fact, when I was looking at it, it looked more like a felony. So, but you are being charged as a misdemeanor because Justice Court can only handle misdemeanors. I cannot appoint a counsel in a different jurisdiction. Actually, I guess I can handle it in Justice Court, but I couldn't determine, I didn't have your financial statement, so I'm not appointing, I couldn't determine indigence. So I'm not appointing team counsel at this time. You can always ask for counsel if you go into that court, and they can determine whether or not you're eligible or not. You have an arraignment set in El Centro Justice Court on June 19th at 8:30 a.m. And because this is a misdemeanor, I am going to just be releasing you on your own recognizance. So that's on your promise to appear. So
What time?
it is on June 19th at 8:30 a.m. You'll have paperwork that will give you the, the court, it'll give you the address, and it gives you the date and time. Okay? Make sure you show up, because if you don't show up, you're going to get a warrant, and then you're going to end up,
I'll be here again.
another warrant, and then you're going to get higher, and you're not going to get released on your own recognizance next time. Okay? Just make sure you show up for court.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Eric Quintero Bajorquez, please come to the podium. Interpreter case? Okay. Hello, sir.
Ajá. Hola, señor.
Are you there?
Hola.
Thank you. Can you please,
Can you please tell what else do you want to say?
Well, I was going to just ask you, just as an interpreter, to just state your name and your badge number for the record.
Yes, sure. My name is Chacnite, ID number 7216.
Thank you very much. And then just for my client, not my client, but for the defendant, could you please state your name for the record?
Okay, señor, por favor, ¿podría decir su nombre completo para los expedientes?
Eric Fernando Quintero Bojorquez.
Okay. Do you get it, or do I repeat it again?
She's asking, want her to repeat.
Yeah, yes. I'd like you to repeat what he states.
Okay. Yes. Señor, por favor, repítanos más fuerte y más despacio su nombre.
Eric Fernando Quintero Bojorquez.
Okay, and then I did. And what is your date of birth?
Okay, señor, ¿y cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
30 de mayo del 1993.
Okay, is May 30, 1993.
Okay, thank you. You are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony.
Okay, señor, usted se le dio un cargo por haber estado utilizando un narcótico.
And 1 count of criminal damage as a Class 2 misdemeanor.
Okay, por un lado, se considera como un delito menor.
Hold on, let me see. This is a fair court. Okay, I have to change the paperwork. I am appointing counsel to represent you.
Please repeat it.
Okay, first of all, did I say that I found probable cause for these charges?
Okay, señor, lo he encontrado culpable de los cargos.
If I haven't, I am finding probable cause for the charges.
Okay, y señor, más tarde voy a enviarle cuánto cuesta, cuánto es el costo de los cargos.
I am appointing counsel to represent you.
Okay, estoy buscando una persona para que lo represente.
You have a status conference set on June 16th at 8:30 a.m.
Ajá.
In a preliminary hearing.
Ok, y señor, se tiene que volver a presentar el 16 de junio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
And a preliminary hearing set on June 18th at 8:30 a.m.
Ok, si se terminamos con la preliminar, se volverá a citar para junio 18 a las 8:30 de la mañana.
At downtown Phoenix at 175 West Madison Street.
Okay, repeat me the address, please. Downtown Phoenix?
Yes, 175 West Madison Street.
Ok, señor. Ajá, y su cita es en el centro de Phoenix. Es el número 175 West, de la calle Madison.
Es para el día 16.
Ok, This street is for June 16?
This is for June 16th, yes, and June 18th.
Sí, señor, para ambas, para junio 16 y para junio 18.
And the information will be on the paperwork that we give you.
Toda la información va a estar contenida en los documentos que le vamos a entregar.
I am going to release you under pre-trial services.
Ok, le voy a creer, señor. Y por esa situación voy a hacer el prejuicio, los servicios de prejuicio, ¿ok?
Now, you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime.
Usted no tendrá que regresar a presentar su queja, su reclamo.
You are not to initiate contact with the alleged victims, and you are not to reside at the...
¿Usted no puede contactarse con la víctima?
You may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim or go to the alleged victim's residence.
Ok, y no puede estar en el mismo lugar donde estarán ellos. Porque usted tiene una orden de alejamiento, y puede ser acusado.
You must
por tratar de
find...
residir ahí. Usted debe de encontrar...
You must find an alternate residence, and you must provide proof of a new address to the court at your next court date.
Ok, señor, usted debe de encontrar una residencia alternativa donde vivir y entregarnos en la corte su nueva dirección la próxima fecha que venga a la corte.
You can have one civil standby with a law enforcement officer to collect your belongings.
Ok, y señor, usted podrá ser acompañado por la policía para recoger en su residencia actual sus pertenencias.
Okay. And thank you. He's nodding his head. I appreciate your help.
Okay.
You're
welcome.
Have a great day. All right, so the next ones are house calls. Let me just quickly try to do this one DUI. I think some DUIs may have just gone away.
Hello, this is Commissioner Hunt's initial appearance alert. I just this one request. So I've been doing the calendar, I've been on the bench. So, but yes, I do find there, I think there's just enough probable cause. So, I just need to swear you in. So, do you swear or affirm that the information contained in the affidavit reflects true and accurate to the best of your personal knowledge and information? Okay, and then, yes, we do have the nighttime ones still going. So, yes, I am going to grant it right now. Okay, there you go. You're welcome. Good. You too.
Okay, so let's go to let's see. Okay, well, I know there were more, so I don't know if somebody else just showed up and started taking them. Huh? Oh, okay. Right, then let's take, okay, then just on the record, for the house calls, do we know why they weren't brought over? Just
Document number 12, Heather Dutch, she's in only cell 5 for bizarre behavior.
Okay, so bizarre behavior for number 12.
Document number 21, Dwayne Lodon, is in only cell 11, bizarre behavior as well.
Okay, so bizarre behavior for number 21. I mean,
Number 33, unable to function.
And unable to function. Will he be able to still be able to listen to me though? If you.
Yeah, you should be able to listen.
Okay. Just can't behave in a courtroom environment. Okay. So number 21, number 33, and number 12, I will go in the back and do their initial appearances, cell side for them. They are unable to be brought into court for acting, for not being able to function in a courtroom environment, even in a jail side courtroom environment. So number 21, Decane D'Angelo Moton, date of birth, February the 4th, 1995, has a new case out of Country Meadows Justice Court, one count of criminal damage as a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for that charge. I did not have enough information to determine indigence. He has an arraignment set on June 19th at 8:30 a.m. and I was going to be releasing him on his own recognizance. Obviously, he can only be released once he's able to function. He is not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, not to initiate contact with any alleged victim or complainant. Number 33 in the docket, Paul Martin Davis, date of birth September 6, 1983. He is being charged with one count of possessing or using narcotic drug as a class 4 felony, one count of disorderly conduct as a class 6 felony, one count of disobeying a court order, one count of criminal trespass as a class 2 misdemeanor, and one count of assault as a class 3 misdemeanor. I am appointing counsel to represent him, and I did find probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent him. He has a status conference set on June 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing set on June 17th at 8:30, and I was releasing him under pretrial services. In regarding to number 12, is Heather Nicole Dutch, date of birth April 24th, 1989, has a new case out of Peoria Municipal Court. One count of disorderly conduct is a Class 1 misdemeanor and one count of criminal damage is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I could not determine indigence at this time. She has an arraignment set on June 19th at 9 a.m. and I am releasing her on her own recognizance. This is where there was a victim statement. However, the issue is more about, that was delving more with a sentence. This is regarding release conditions. I'm doing more about she's not allowed to return to the scene of the alleged crime, not to initiate contact with the alleged victims, not to have any physical contact with the alleged victims, not to initiate contact with the alleged complainants or witnesses. She may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim nor go to the alleged victim's residence, even if she's the owner of a renter or the residence. She must find alternate residence, must provide proof of the new address to the court as her next court date. She may have one civil standby with a law enforcement officer, and that is permitted to collect her belongings. If there are any changes, I will do so on the record after speaking with them. And we may be adjourned at this time.